Listen, I'm easy to find. And then they can kiss my ass.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Nathan back with another video presentation. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. Happy Thursday. This is episode 8, season 8 of Big Nate Sports Talk. Before you get into it, there's a few things I'd like to say up front. I am still uploading season 7 on Anchor via Spotify. If you have Apple Podcasts or if you're on Android, you can also leave a review on podcast now. So I would greatly appreciate it if you left a review for the podcast. The feedback would be much appreciated. I really do. As far as the rest of the week goes, the Washington Mystics, they play Connecticut. I will recap the Atlanta Dream win tomorrow. And preview the game against Connecticut. I do have at some point need to get some Oriole and Nashville talk in there, so we'll see that this weekend. We'll recap once the Western and Eastern Conference Finals is over. We'll be ready for the NBA Finals. My plan for that is recap it game by game. And then we're just going to continue to just follow along with NFL OTA started. So there's really not much going on at the moment. So be on the lookout for things like that. As you see the title of this video, we're recapping we're going to give a breakdown for the NBA mock draft 1.0, 15 through 30. If you did not see the previous video with the lottery picks, please check that out if you had not already. If I remember, I'll leave a link in the box below. My goal, I see myself doing 3 mock drafts. One, I'm going to take into consideration free agency. And also, 2, the combine is now over. So after the finals is when I'll do a 2.0, and before the draft we'll do a 3.0. So be tuned in for that. Before we get started, my mind is still on what happened in Uvalde, Texas, at Robb Elementary School, where 19 kids, along with 2 teachers, their lives were taken away tragically at the hands of somebody that obviously needed help. And my mind is still on that. It's been really hard to kind of get a normalcy of things, especially in the after that. I mean, I don't really understand how can you move on from something like that. That's just crazy. Again, I know people are saying that thoughts and prayers are not enough, but I would like to take this opportunity, if you can join me in just a moment of silence, for those for those lives that were taken at the hands. Just join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Sean Spencer, I see you in the comments. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Absolutely, absolutely. So before we get into the mock draft, we gotta recap some very interesting basketball. The Dallas Mavericks are down 3-1. They're fighting for survival. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit, and they're in Golden State tonight. Dallas, I feel like they had to win that game. I have been very disappointed with the offense so far. The offense did show out to me, but it comes down to it can't be Luka. In game, I looked at the Mavs. They came out. They stayed out of elimination in game 6 and 7 against Phoenix, and the Warriors had that game in the palm of their, had that game in. They just let it slip out their hands. Dallas got off to a fast start, and that's the key. I think outbeating the key is the pace. You got to outplay Golden. You can't play. I mean, you can't outbeat Golden State's pace. Let's get that out there first and foremost. But Luka, we know, is going to lead the charge offensively. But Reggie Bullock, I know, for example, I'm using him. I'm randomly picking him out the litter because he's really been inconsistent, and I need him to really show out. He made six of his threes and had 18 points. I need the others around Luka. I mean, again, I'm gonna keep saying it again and again. Talk about these others. They don't mean nothing. That is, in my opinion, that's false, because the others do matter. And you got to take pressure off your star player. Your star can't carry your team and drop 40 every night, and that just gets you the win. That's not going to happen. I need Maxi Kluber. I need Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Bertans. I need them all to step up. I need them to hit shots and make defensive stops. That's that's how they won in game 4. And also, too, they played at their pace. If you see open shots, take it. Use the shot clock. The fact that they're taking advantage of the shot clock, and then by the time they're making a play, their shot clock's almost expired. And I looked at how both sides, for example, Golden State going in the fourth quarter, they used Jordan Poole, Kuminga, and Moses Moody, and they brought it down from 29. They cut the lead like that. And then again, it just shows that they took their foot off the gas. But Golden State's youth movement is the key. Now, I'm concerned for Dallas because Luka had 30 and 14. But they're going to need a miracle. They're going to need to pull out all the stops. Let's see. What's this here? Luka is the truth, but needs more help. Thank you. Comment of the day. Is there friction between Clay and Jordan Poole? No, there's no friction. I think in my personal opinion, that's just part of the game. There's competition. They're competitors. There may be a miscommunication. There's no friction. You gotta have to give Jordan Poole his flowers. He's definitely stepped up in there when Clay wasn't there. But I don't see a friction in my opinion. But if they're going to win this game tonight, they need all hands on deck. I'm gonna say the Dallas Mavericks pull an upset in San Francisco. 110-104.
Guaranteed.
Let's go to the Eastern Conference. This has actually been a surprising series. It has been a surprising series. This has been a joy to watch, but it's really also been very, very weird. The Boston Celtics now took a 3-2 lead, and just the takeaways for me, it was the first half of the second half. In the first half, again, your two stars, your Batman and Robin, took 16 shots and only made 3.
What was that? What the hell was that? I'm sorry the H words and the D words aren't appropriate over the airwaves, but it's going to be today. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
That has probably been one of their worst performances together that I have seen so far in this postseason. Jalen Brown turned the ball over, I think it was 3 times, and as a cohesive unit, they had 10 turnovers. The Miami Heat, they were, if not just as bad. A lot of their 28 points came off second chance opportunities or Boston turned the ball over. They didn't capitalize on any mistakes that Boston made. The offense was virtually lethargic, and it showed. And going in the second half, Boston took advantage. Jason Tatum, he had a very ugly 22 points, but he had a good solid 18. I'm not going to say if his shoulder injury is a factor, but look, I'm from the old school. If you can walk, you can play. And if he shouldn't have been playing, he should have said something. Jalen Brown had 19 points going in the second half as well. Al Horford, Derek White, Marcus Smart, like this again. The others. I'm just going to continue to emphasize the others. Like, if I can't rely on my stars, the others pick up the pieces and carry it. Al Horford, Derek White again. They did their part. Like, Al Horford gave me a good 16 points. Marcus Smart. I mean, he was in early foul trouble. Derek White gave me 11 points off the bench. Like, and then also to Robert Williams. Miami's defense had no answer for him whatsoever. He gave me 6 points and a good 10 rebounds. And also too, like, he D'd up Bam. He D'd up Bam Adebayo. And there was a point where for 10 possessions, Miami didn't score a bucket. And I feel like that's going to sting. And one thing I've noticed is Jason Tatum, he found his shot, and he's going to trust his guys a little bit more. I've noticed the offense, when Al Horford's there, everybody plays more like this. But this has been a very, honestly and truthfully, it comes down to who stays the healthiest the most, who can stay consistent. Because there has been a couple games where it has been an ugly performance. I'm very disappointed to really see that that's how the Miami Heat came out last night. But I still think that I believe this is going to go to 7 games. I do. This is going to be a 7-game series. I think we're going to have a decisive game 7. Guaranteed. So I'll be tuned in for that. Now, we all know why you're here. It's the NBA Mock Draft 1.0. We left off at pick number 15. And with 15th overall pick, again, I took a lot of consideration in terms of team need and where I think each player would fit. Now, there are some guys that I saw in some mock drafts that were like top 10, top 5, but I was looking more of need, not where best fit, if that makes sense. So with the 15th overall pick, I said the Charlotte Hornets select Johnny Davis. Now, for me, Johnny would be a good fit for New Orleans. I come out of Wisconsin. He definitely has the toolage to be a good player. He can really help CJ McCollum, take some pressure off him. I think he would be an instant. He would bring some instant offense to the Pelicans because I think they need to develop another player to help, again, take pressure off McCollum, Ingram, and when Zion Williamson comes back there. Now, the Pelicans do have the 8th overall pick, but I said that they take who did I say they take? Ochai Agbaji. I feel like they really could use a guard and a forward, but I do think Johnny does fit the Pelicans well. Why did I say Hornets? Pelicans. I'm sorry. With the 16th overall pick, this is interesting. Now, I considered him going to Washington. However, because of a couple things, knowing the Wizards, they're going to draft somebody weird, okay? And not saying that who they're going to pick is weird. I'm just saying that their draft ideology. With the 16th overall pick, the Atlanta Hawks select Mark Williams out of Duke. Now, I'm taking this in consideration. I love Clint Capella, but I know he's not getting any younger. He's also injuries. I think he would be a good fit. He's not. He's a modern big. He doesn't space the floor, but he's an elite rim protector. So I'm looking at it like, why not? I do think Atlanta does need that. Now, if you hold my feet to the fire, they do need a wing player. Because I thought giving up on Cam Reddish, I thought was kind of interesting, but they couldn't get him in the rotation very well. And then I don't know what's going to happen with John Collins. So that's another thing I took into consideration. But for now, I said just focus on perimeter. And he wouldn't be a liability on offense for Atlanta. So why not? With the 17th overall pick, the Houston Rockets select Jalen Duren. Now, for me, this was tough. They have Christian Wood, but he's more of a 4. Now, I believe this is his last year on his contract for Christian, so you could possibly trade him if you wanted to. They did take somebody last year. I can't remember his name, but they could use some more depth. I think it's Alprin Sengun. Sengun, did they say his name? Like he's still a prospect, so he needs some time to develop. And Jalen's more of a rim protector. So you have offensive center and a defensive center. So those two could work in a sense, but for me, I think Houston should definitely consider taking a center. With the 18th overall pick, I said the Chicago Bulls should take Liddell, excuse me, Little. Um, he is, to me, I think he is the most ready NBA prospect. He definitely could contribute. I think Chicago would be a good fit for him because for me, the key one is getting back Zach LaVine, getting everybody back healthy. I know Lonzo Ball's been dealing with his knee injury. Get DeMar DeRozan back, Nikolai Vukovic. They just need more depth. And for me, I feel like he would be a good, even he brings defense, and more importantly, like Chicago could really use him in small ball situations. So I don't see why not. I like this pick for Chicago. With the 19th overall pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves, I say they should take Jaden Hardy. Now, for me, I know they have D'Angelo Russell, and most likely you're building around D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns. I know that. They need a true ball handler, but I don't see them moving on from D'Angelo Russell unless they feel like they can get something for him. I think his ability to create for others, I think that would be a really, to me, I think important. Now they did hire Tim Conley as now the president for basketball operations. So that's curious. I'm curious to see how that's going to shape in now Minnesota's front office. You know, who are you building with? Who stays? I think you should keep Russell, Edwards, Carthy Towns. Now, if you pushed me, I also considered Bryce McGowens here. He's a 2-guard. I considered that, but I feel like I kind of can see a guard being taken here. I also considered Ty Washington. There's a couple others that were kind of weird, but I say Jaden Hardy would be a good fit here. With the 20th overall pick, I said this at San Antonio Spurs take Dyson Daniels. Now, for me, I value shooting the ball, but like good size. I've seen the tape. Could work on his J. His jump shot needs some improvement, but with the toolage of the great Greg Popovich, I could see that really being that could see improving, and I can see him playing the 3, maybe even the 2 a little bit. I think he has all the tools. To me, he makes a good argument. He could be the best 2-guard in the draft. I mean, San Antonio's about defense, and they could really use some defense on the perimeter. So I like this pick for San Antonio. With the 20, I said the Denver Broncos. Let me fix that. Denver Broncos are a basketball team. With the 21st pick, the Denver Nuggets. Hold on, I just typed it. There we go. Kendall Brown. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for me, I considered Bryce and McGowens here. I also considered EJ Liddell here. Now, they're going to have to really start developing some pieces around Murphy, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Jokic. because they're tied in with those contracts, and you're going to have a hard time really finding guys that want to play. That are going to take the minimum, because that's just not going to happen. I can't see guys in today's free agency take that. And also, too, like I say, you just need depth. I really do feel like Denver needs to address the depth, and they need some perimeter defense. Now, if you pushed me, I also considered like I said, Wendell Moore Jr. I considered that, but I'm also looking at he's a solid big man at Ohio State. Yes, he is. It was tough for me. Like, I really, really, Liddell has a decent stroke from three as well, but I want him to focus on in the paint and on. Yeah, I agree with you. Denver, I feel like they need to take a wing player and continue to build the depth around Jokic, because that's who you're clearly building. But I like Kendall Brown here for Denver. With the 22nd overall pick, I said they take MarJon, Beauchamp. Now, couple things I want to make this clear. Now, Tyus Jones. The reason why I said take a guard here, Tyus Jones is going to be a free agent, and I don't see Memphis taking him. I see somebody grossly overpaying for his services, and they need someone behind Ja who can handle the ball and pass the ball. And I think for me, I can see MarJon being that guy, to me, in my opinion. If you pushed me, I also considered Kennedy Chandler. I mean, he's more of MarJon's more of a three, but I think they need to really just continue with the wing play, in my opinion. I considered them taking Ty Washington as well. I mean, Memphis can really take a guard or a forward. It really all depends on what they're going to do with Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones will probably take a pay cut and stay, but we all know some teams will overpay for him. But I think that they should take a wing player to just continue to build around Ja. So with the 23rd overall pick, the Brooklyn Nets select Bryce McGowens. Now, they have until June 1st if they want to keep this pick or not, because this pick can be deferred for next year's draft, and Philadelphia could get it back. Now, for me, I like Bryce. He would be a good piece off the bench, and I think also too he could really help KD. But kind of a little concerned with KD right now, because we don't know where his plans. We don't know where he's at right now for next season. I think he's just in the off-season mode. I don't think he's really focused on next year. They've already kind of made it clear that they're not sure they want to commit long-term with Kyrie. And I think they need a shooter. They just needed more guys to help the build around KD, and I feel like Bryce would be good. I also considered MarJon Beauchamp. I considered him, Kenny Chandler, Jalen Williams. I considered those guys as well. But I feel like Bryce makes the most sense for Brooklyn, in my opinion. With the 24th overall pick, I said Milwaukee takes Kennedy Chandler. Now, Jrue Holiday is not getting any younger, okay? And Milwaukee actually has a couple of choices. They can do the same thing they did last year, where they traded for Grayson Allen, number one, or number two, just get a replacement for Jrue Holiday. For me, They need that was glaring. They need some depth behind Drew, and I think he's a great. I saw some of the tape at Tennessee. He is a great point guard. I think he would be really good. And Milwaukee values that. You see the value of that with Drew Holiday. I think he and Giannis, that would be a nice little 1-2 combo. So I could see that. And I also considered Jalen Williams. I also considered Patrick Baldwin, Jr. Blake Wesley, Wendell Moore. I also considered those guys as well. But I think taking a point guard from Milwaukee just for depth would be good because George Hill, yes, it's not the answer. Number 25, the San Antonio Spurs select Walker Kessler. Now, I think they need a center. They definitely need some protection, some rim protection, and again behind Pilati, just depth. I could really see that. I think he would be a good fit for a Greg Popovich system. He's another center that's off my list than when I did my homework. I could see him being drafted here. I could see that he brings a lot to the table for what San Antonio needs. So the Spurs and I think the Spurs can rebuild right here in this draft with the 3 picks that they have. So I like that. With the 26th overall pick, the Dallas Mavericks select Leonard Miller. Couple things I want to take into consideration. I like Leonard Miller, but he is a project. And knowing Dallas, Jason Kidd will help him tap his potential. I considered Terquavion Smith out of North Carolina State here. But I think I'm concerned, one, Jalen Brunson's going to get paid. Finian Smith could potentially get paid. Somebody's going to go. And I feel like why not take a forward? The only thing is just that he's going to need some time to really develop. Now, I considered Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Jalen Williams. But if you held my feet to the fire, it was a toss-up because they really need to develop some more scoring around Luka. Kessler's legit. He should be great for Popovich. Where did he play his college ball? He played at University of Auburn. Number 27, the Miami Heat take Patrick Baldwin Jr. Now, I feel like the only thing that hurts Patrick is his injuries. He does. That's the only consideration. That's the only thing. Would be it's not a big red flag. It's just it's a caution flag, not a red flag. I really do think that they need to start building some youth because that's what Miami. If you pay attention, ladies and gentlemen, to this playoff series, they're clearly lacking is youth. They need that. And fun fact, since 2017, this is the only third time someone's going to be drafted in the first round. But knowing Pat Riley and what he's done these past few drafts, he'll probably find something. I could see that for sure. Oh, no, he transferred to North Carolina State. Auburn, North Carolina. Oh, my gosh. No comment. So I like Patrick here, but no, I would like Miami to start really developing some depth. Some youth movement. They really need some youth. And I could see him being a good fit in Miami. So let's move on to the number 28th overall pick. You want to like this pick, Sean? Christian Braun. I Also consider him going to San Antonio. He's will be good in Golden State's transition offense, and he can make his shots. I could see Christian Braun being a first round pick. That's really what I think he could bring to Golden State. The only thing is he is in that championship, his defense and he can get in foul trouble quite a bit, but he can hold his own weight. I think he would be a good fit in Golden State. I could see that. I could. With the hold on, wait. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. Dude can ball. He played well in the second half of the national championship game. Yes, he did. Absolutely, I agree. And then with the 29th overall pick, Braun is a fiery guy too. He'll fit right in Golden State. Absolutely, absolutely. The Memphis Grizzlies take. I take. Come on, show. There we go. Trevor Keels. Again, this is kind of a reach. He is a two-way guard. There is some inconsistencies. I can see him improving his game. I think Memphis would be a good fit for him. Now, if you pushed me, I considered also Blake Wesley. Because again, Tyus Jones. I say either one. I think they're both combo guards, so why not? I think you could go with either one if you're Memphis. So, and with the final pick of the first round of the 2022 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Terquavion Smith. Now, he actually did pretty well for what I saw and what I read at the combine. He really made the argument to be a first round pick. I definitely think they need some more depth at the guard position behind SGA and Gitley. I do believe that. Terquavion is a really interesting guard. I like him. I like his motor. I've seen the tapes of him at North Carolina State. He could really, really play well. I could see Oklahoma City taking a guy like him. I can definitely see that. So things could change, ladies and gentlemen. That is who I think 15 to 30 will take. If y'all do my feet to the fire, I do think probably the wild card would be Christian Braun and Trevor Keels or Blake Wesley. I can see those guys being taken there. I mean, this can be a really, really good draft class. All depends. But we'll see. We still got free agency. Anything could change between now and then. Like I said, this is just it's a mock draft. Things could change. Mock drafts in the past have known to take L's because we've seen guys who we never heard of be taken in the first round. So y'all let me know your thoughts. But before we end the episode, again, I want to take this opportunity again, express my thoughts and prayers to those in Uvalde, Texas, what happened in Buffalo. Again, it's enough is enough. It's been really, honestly, and truthfully hard to really process these last few weeks. It's been very stressful mentally, emotionally, because it's just when does it stop? When does accountability occur? When does change occur? And the fact that we have people in positions of power. And if you've followed my channel for quite some time now, I have been on this as like a problem. I keep saying until the record's broken. The media controls and spins the narrative. And once again, what you saw today, what you've been seeing, is another example of no accountability and pointing the fingers. I think it's absolutely disgusting that it took, from what I read, 90 minutes for police to arrive, and then to hear parents want to take matters into their own hands because they did not move in and try to get in there and take care of the situation. Even the way the media has moved away from what happened in Buffalo, it's just really, really tiresome. Today, the Washington Mystics had a post-practice media availability, and shout out to Rafiq. I'm gonna say his last name wrong, Linston of Nothing But That Sports Talk. He asked Coach T two really good questions. His take, because Coach T was not present with this press home game in Atlanta due to personal reasons. Coach T was very, very angry, and we all should be mad. Listen, myself, random name, Tommy, Cindy, Mr. and Mrs. Jones down the street, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree on certain bills or certain things like that. But when it comes down to human lives are being lost at the hands of others, and we're not doing anything about it, that's troublesome. We can continue to at some point we keep making excuses, but there's no solutions, and we keep pointing the finger, and there's no accountability. Like it's exhausting. There's got to be something. There's got to be something's got to give. If you remember that a while ago, I did a video in the aftermath of what happened with Jacob Blake, and this is the time where everyone was out. The NBA and the NBA and the WNBA were down in the bubble, and everybody for 2 days didn't play basketball. And my biggest question is, what was the plan? What was the next step? Because the games were just postponed. They weren't canceled. They just were postponed. And there was really no next step. There was some that wanted to go home to their individual homes and protest. Others wanted to continue to play basketball. It's not just with sports. It's with everyday life. How do we move forward, and how do we continue on when we're digesting these kind of things, when we're seeing and hearing that, these are babies. They're 9, 10-year-olds. Like, they had dreams and aspirations of wanting to be something when they grow up, and now that's taken away from them because we have a issue of, one, we need reform across the board. We need healthcare reform. We need all that. And when you have people in certain positions of power that refuse to do anything because of either power, because of power and money, that should tell you something. I have been on the record, and I will continue to say it. Voting matters, but more importantly, when you politically organize, when I mean politically organize, I'm talking about we bring issues to the table and we go to candidate B. If candidate A is not doing their job, go to candidate B. If you can't, this is our agenda. This is what we expect. These are the issues that we need to be addressed. We all not may agree on all those issues, but we have a common goal, a common denominator. Change must be is needed. Candidate B is not going to do it. C, D, and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, get out here and register to vote. We've got elections coming up. I'm not talking on the federal level. State, your local government, state government, federal government. I'm talking about your DAs, mayors, governors, circuit court judges. They all have an impact on your everyday life. I've said that, and I'm going to continue to that. Get out here, register to vote, and understand these issues. Study your candidates. All that. Absolutely. We need reform as soon as possible. We need it yesterday. Yes, there have been more shootings in the new year. And we're that's like 145 days, and it's like almost 200. Something's wrong with that. And we can continue. We have to get to a place where we're trying to set set the tone for the next generation. So when they come in and they don't have to go through these things. I'm not a father. I would love to be a father one day and be a husband, but I'm afraid to bring my kids one day into a world where you see these type of things not being addressed. Like, it's easy to get a gun than baby formula. Something's wrong with that. Like, a guy goes into a store, buys 2 weapons and that kind of ammunition, there's no red flags. Something's not right there. Like, I'm gonna close out by saying this. I gotta give her a shout out. Her name is Kennedy Burke. Signed on with the Washington Mystics. Really said something powerful that touched me. I'm one of those, and I'm learning to use my platform in any way that I can to really talk about these issues. But sometimes I have my moments, and sometimes I have people to go, no, be careful what you say because X, Y, and Z. And sometimes I can be that. I'm a bit of an introvert and have anxiety sometimes because some things I may not say, maybe be opinion, but sometimes I'm afraid if I say this, is it the right thing? And for me, I want to be able to do something. I feel like I can do more, whether it's starting a group, having these uncomfortable conversations, because they need to be had, ladies and gentlemen. And I just implore you guys, dear listener, one, just check on your loved ones, get out here, make sure you're registered to vote, study up on your politicians, study the issues, and more importantly, those that are in certain positions of power, if look their number, their email, their office, email them, call them, and let them know that you're tired, that you're frustrated, and if they're not going to do it, somebody else, we'll put somebody else in there. So, look, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate the support you're giving me and this channel. It's much appreciated. Again, this was very, very painful to talk about. It's hard to talk about, especially. It's really hard to imagine. It's really, really hard to get back to the sense of normalcy when there's no sense of security. And we have people that are really not seeing that. Instead, they're just very narrow-minded, and they're worried about themselves and not about others. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, they work for us, not the other way around. What was that? Okay, I do apologize. So it looks like I'm. You know what? I've said too much. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna just, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. Tomorrow, thank God, it's Friday. But just more importantly, just be careful out here. Just check on loved ones and make sure you take care of yourselves. That's my closing message. But thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Great show. Keep at the end. Great message at the end. Keep your head up. All right. Thank you. You too. I appreciate it. Thank you. But until then, I'm out. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Stay up.
Listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.